The austerity myth. I'm Brian Lilly with TheRebel.media. Is Canada switching from an austerity regime to being a big spender? Because that's the received wisdom of the liberal left chattering classes in this country, people that were never really comfortable with Stephen Harper being in office. They claimed he didn't spend enough. They claimed he was cutting back. In fact, they still claim that now. Is any of it true? Not really. Liberals that are part of the current government, while they make this claim of austerity in speeches, in media interviews, even in the House of Commons, they will tell you Canadians had a choice between austerity and investments, and they chose investments.
We ran on a campaign of hope and hard work, and that's what Canadians supported, Mr. Speaker. And if you take the logic of the member opposite, they would be making massive cuts. Billions of dollars. They promote austerity, but we promote growth and creating jobs, Mr. Speaker. We have a plan that's going to invest billions in infrastructure. We have a plan that's going to reduce the tax burden for middle-class Canadians, Mr. Speaker. We have a plan that is going to advance the innovation agenda. We're going to grow the economy and create jobs.
There's a new column out from Don Pittis, a senior producer for CBC's business unit, and it's on the state broadcaster's website, making much the same claim that the former government was all about austerity. Let me read to you from it. Canada has abruptly switched sides in one of the perennial political and economic battles over how to restart a sagging economy. To put it in a way that would not please either side, it is the contest between the misers and the spendthrifts. After years of the penny-pinching approach, Canada has switched back to become a big spender. Now, in fairness to Pittis, he doesn't say one side works better than the other. In fact, he says it's up in the air. But Canada as an austerity country, do the facts back up these claims? Not a chance. We're all entitled to our own opinions, but we're not entitled to our own facts. And the facts show that under Stephen Harper, government spending grew at a rapid pace. And that was even before the recession hit in late 2008. I went to the Fiscal Monitor to back this up. This is the monthly report put out by the Finance Department. It looks at government revenue and government expenses on a monthly basis. Since the government fiscal year runs April 1 to March 31st, the March report always gives you a look at what came in and what was spent for the full year. So let's look at the report from March 2006, the fiscal year that ended with the Conservatives taking power in February, but really all the spending was by the Liberals. Back then, the Government of Canada spent $192 billion in the fiscal year of 05-06. It went up every year after that under Stephen Harper until 2014-15. But along the way, let's look at how that spending went up. By 2008-2009, the government was spending $233 billion, a hike of 21% in 3 years before the deficit spending to fight the recession kicked in. In 2012-13, the government spent $272 billion and $76 billion in 2014-15. The current fiscal year, the blend of the Conservatives and Liberals, it's expected to be $296 billion and $317 billion next year. Those governments do not support austerity. Stephen Harper and the Conservatives raised government spending by 43% before taking inflation into account. It's true they cut $3 billion in their last full year, but that was after adding $87 billion in spending. I was arguing with Conservatives that they were spending too much money back in 2006, and I argued year after year that they did. They always responded they kept spending increases in line with inflation and population growth, but they kept increasing spending. And while I was critical of their spending, they obviously did something right. They kept the debt to GDP ratio low, and most importantly, they shrank the federal government's take of the Canadian economy to the smallest level since the 1950s, all while keeping Canada's economy doing better than most of our competitors. Were the Conservatives perfect in office? No. But neither were they, proponents of slash and burn austerity. Doesn't matter what the other guys say. The numbers simply don't back up the austerity claim.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of The Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.